The New England Fishing Expo is a great show.
Yeah.
And the New Hampshire Outdoor Expo is also a great one. And they're both put on by the same individual, Daniel Kenny, who I don't know if anybody who doesn't know him should.
Yeah.
Truly, like, one of the best guys you could know. He treats people so well, and he does a great job of promoting events. I mean,
yes, he does. I have to agree with that. And he's very people friendly.
Yeah.
And he's great to hang out with. You know.
His response time too. Like, if anyone doing business with him, immediate.
Right.
Just great all around. And I mean, today it was a pretty decent day. I can't wait until tomorrow. A little nervous. I think we're going to get bombarded with people.
Well,
because
we're not going to get wind again, I don't think, right?
It might. It might. They're saying the next couple of days might even be a chance of snow flurries.
Oh, really?
Again, yeah. But, hey, we're in the dome.
Crazy.
Power's on. We're good to go.
Heck yeah, man.
We got power. We got Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And we got so much fishing gear.
I know, there is.
It's always a good day when you're surrounded by tackle, right?
Yeah, I feel like I got to stop by and get some root beer. I love those mugs that they got.
Yeah.
Oh, Wild Bill.
Yeah, Wild Bill.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Yeah, I like him. I was talking to him about it. He travels everywhere with that thing.
Isn't he? He's from Pennsylvania as well, isn't he?
No.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's the pickles. The pickle
Yeah.
guy. Wild Bill.
Wild Bill. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Don't quote me on it.
So, how many years have you been doing the show?
Me? The show?
Yeah, this one particularly.
I think this would be the third year. I think.
Yeah, but it's been going on for about, what, 4 or 5 now?
Yeah. So this particular show, the New Hampshire Outdoor Expo, was actually the very first trade show I've ever participated in. And so I made that booth that you saw. I'm still using the same booth. And I designed it just for that because I wanted it to look good. I wanted to make sure Dan looked good, and have people come, and enjoy themselves and create an atmosphere.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like me as the electrician for the show, I get to meet. There's always a lot of great people. I've known you since you started. This year I got to meet Doug, and he seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And everybody's very family oriented, everybody's friends. There's no competition, everybody gets along, everybody helps each other. It's just a great environment.
It is. It really is. I mean, I've met so many friends, at this thing. And then the camaraderie is really what I kind of look forward to every year, and meeting all the people that come through and getting feedback, it's really a great show.
The longer you're in the outdoor industry, the more you realize how small it is.
Oh yeah.
You see the same people show after show after show as you travel around. It's
not necessarily, because like I said, I mean, I've been doing this for a few years for Dan, and every year I meet somebody new. But they're also from different locations.
There's a lot of those core people.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of people know the same people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep, I understand what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. But at the end of the day, everybody's friends. Like, I don't ever see anybody argue or disagree. And it's a great environment. It's very kid friendly, family oriented, dog friendly. There's absolutely nothing to complain about.
Yeah, I mean, everybody shares those same passions.
Exactly. Yeah. You all have a bond or something in common.
Yeah.
And I think it's great.
How long have you been working with Dan on this?
Since he started this one, so what, 6-7 years now?
6 or 7 years?
Yeah, at this particular one, yes.
Nice. I thought he'd been doing it longer.
At other locations he has.
Okay.
Yes.
So he's been in the trade show game for a while.
Oh yeah, very long. Yep.
Very cool.
The guys that do the pipe and drape.
Yeah.
John LaPlante, I guess there's somehow him and Dan are related too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they actually get together and they draw up the floor plans and design the whole show together.
Yeah. That must not have been easy in the beginning, when you're learning. It's like, all right, they're going to need about this much space, and, what about the kayaks and the canoes and the space to get through?
I can't speak for him, but I don't think it's ever easy. I know he makes it look easy, but I mean, man, the headaches that he's got to be dealing with, I can't imagine. You know,
It shows one after the other, right? I mean, they do
Yeah.
the disc golf, they do the.
They just
fishing
picked up a new
expo.
show in Texas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just came. He was there last week, and doing a brand new show out in Texas. I apologize, I forgot what part. And the guy Steve, that's always there, his sidekick to help him.
Yeah.
He's down in Georgia, doing another show.
That's cool.
So they're expanding very well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit about your business. You're all set up at the show, also.
yeah, I do fishing rods. You know,
Heck yeah.
Starting off at an early age. You know, my grandfather had me fishing before I can remember. I got into pouring lead at like 6, 8 years old for jigs, and then about 10, I started taking fly tying lessons, and eventually got into rod building, and just fell in love with it, and been building rods for about 15 years now. Started the business about 10 years ago, and in 2022, placed in the top 10 in the world for rod builders in the International Rod Building Championship. And
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's pretty cool.
yeah, and last year launched my mass production product line for Fish NFX at iCast. So
That's
you know,
awesome.
it's just been one step at a time. And
So, tell me a
keep
little bit
plugging.
about iCast.
iCast is amazing. I would say, besides Dan's shows, iCast is the best show in the world. You just, it has everything there. It's the whole industry under one roof. I think the OCCC is 750,000 square feet, and it's just packed with all the companies.
Yeah.
You know, whatever store you go into, you see a bunch of companies there.
So,
They're at that.
iCast, we're talking like everything fishing, or just like.
Where's that based
I've
out
never
of?
been.
Where's that
Florida?
based?
Orlando.
Orlando?
Yeah, the ASA puts it on, and they do it out of the Orange County Convention Center, and it goes on in mid-July. And a lot of people are always asking, like, why does the show go on in July? And it's because it's an industry trade show, so you have the new products come out that weren't sold the year before or entered in a new product showcase. They just put everything out there, tons of media, and you have a lot of dealers, wholesalers, so they come through, see the companies that are there, and want to put it in their shop.
Yeah.
Well, being in July, that gives you enough time to anticipate your orders, get them situated, get them sent out and finalized, and then have them for the new year.
Interesting.
So, when you think about it, if you want to start off the spring, you're not doing it as a store, in February
Right.
or April. You're doing it in July, getting your ducks in a row, figuring out, budgeting what you're going to be putting in next and allocating it. And
Yeah.
then, come August, whatnot, September, placing those orders, telling them when you want it delivered. That way you can plan for either around Christmas or the new year or what have you, and work your inventory appropriately for the upcoming year.
Yeah. When's your best selling cycle? Like, where's your best moment of the year? Is it spring for the fishing
I
rods?
would say like mid-year,
Yeah.
just the summer.
Yeah.
Spring is good, but like end of spring,
Okay.
But again, it depends on if you're thinking retail, wholesale, or direct, because the season goes
Yeah, the
through
wholesale's
cycles.
more before that impact.
Yeah.
Right? They're preparing just like you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think individually, because people are getting ready for a vacation that time, in the summer, so they want to gear up and go fishing for like a vacation. That's what I would think.
Or the big thing is opening days.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
opening day for trout around us. I'm forgetting offhand. I believe it's around April 20th. It changes here and there, and especially location-wise, But for in our area, that's a big thing. So, come April, everybody's getting their stuff and getting prepared for opening day,
Yeah.
And then, right after opening day, half the people broke some of their stuff, and they need new stuff.
Right, exactly.
Well,
So they're replacing
not necessarily they broke it, but have you gone fishing with kids?
It's one of the reasons why I made the fishing rod holster.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
broken eyelets
Yeah.
by putting it down.
And that's an excellent point. Think about it. How many times are people stepping on them
Yeah.
while they're trying to get a fish off the hook or do whatever?
Or get it tangled out of a tree.
Your reel's getting all muddy. And fishing rods, you want to treat them well. It's my rods are carbon fiber. They're strong. They're sensitive. They're lightweight. But you don't want to be crushing it. You don't want to, be
Abusing
causing
it.
cracks and fissures. You don't want to be slapping it on rocks, because any rod over time, usually when they break, it's because of something that happened at a separate point. It's not that you set the hook. It's not that you cast it out. It's that, hey, maybe the jig slammed the blank, or you smacked it on a rock, or what have you. And then when you notice, when you go and you cast and it breaks, or when you set the hook and it breaks. But what happened in that rod's life before that point?
Right.
And,
And
like
when you
were
have
saying, being able to keep it off the ground is a huge
It
preventative
is.
maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard stories where people are losing their rod in the stream.
Yeah.
Dropping it off a bridge, and you can't really go after those, especially if you got boat traffic underneath or whatever. I mean, it's gone.
Yeah.
But you brought up an interesting point. Like the lifespan, pretty much of a fishing rod, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about all the memories that you quite possibly have spent, with that rod, whether it's with your child, maybe you've had that rod for a long time and you want to care for it. That thing actually holds some pretty good memories. It's seen some pretty good memories along with you. And I think I speak for a lot of people where, you're right. I think that you want to protect your investment because that is a memory. It is something that you're familiar with.
It's
becomes part of
funny.
you.
It's funny you say that because I actually have my first rod,
Yeah.
a little 2-footer. Over the years, I've had to change the reel, but all 3 of my sons have all learned off the same rod.
That's awesome, man.
That
is really cool.
I had the tip, fixed a couple of times, or I had to put a new reel on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all 3 of my sons have learned off the same rod.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I still have it till this day. Yep.
I honestly can't say that about my kids because they had custom fishing rods for their first rods. They each had their
With
own.
a dad that
made.
makes rods,
You
they get
know.
a brand new one every year, don't they?
How do you say,
Christmas again.
spoiled?
You know what? You know what would be great? You make them, right?
Yeah.
What if you did something creative just for them every year? They get they probably get one every year, right?
No, they've they're like, we're good. We got plenty.
Yeah.
But
So you know how people do like the notch in the doorway as they
Yeah,
grow?
yeah.
Imagine doing
The
that
height.
on a fishing rod. So like this year it was this one.
well, I'll tell you, there was
This year it
definitely a
was that.
lot of different themes.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different artwork you can do on rods, and my daughter was really into Finding Nemo when she was really little, and so we had a Dory themed rod, and you put the decal on it and put it right in the epoxy and stuff like that, or my son had his style of what he liked, and
That's
it's
pretty
cool,
cool.
like making it something for them
Something
like that.
custom,
Yeah.
That is really cool.
One thing that I loved was she had this little rod that I made on an ice rod blank, so it was like a full fiberglass. You can bend it like crazy, and we were at my family's house in Florida at a golf course pond. She was 4 years old, and we're fishing with a bobber and a night crawler, just sitting by the bank, enjoying the day. And her bobber goes under. And she sets the hook and she starts reeling it in. She looks over and she's like, Daddy, it's going to pull me into the water. I'm like, honey, it's not going to pull you into the water. And she's like putting a good bend on it, and she's digging in and sliding down the hill a little bit. And I'm like, honey, just dig your heels in. She's like, I'm digging my heels in, Daddy. I'm digging my heels in. It's going to pull me into the water. I'm like, it's not going to pull you into the water. The thing jumps. I go, oh, my goodness, it's going to pull you into the water. I grab the side of the rod. She keeps going. She lands it. The thing was an 8-pounder.
Wow.
I had to hold it up for her, but the picture is of her with it like next to her face and touching the grass.
That's amazing.
So it was just hilarious.
Yeah, my favorite fishing story with my daughter is pretty much already captured on video. You guys have seen her. I put her in the commercial just because I want to see it all the time.
Yeah.
Is when she's screaming and it's too big. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap.
Right?
I need you to bring it up, baby. Bring it up.
I can't. It's too.
Oh my god. Oh, dude. What the? Dude. Dude. Oh my god. That's why I get them off, right?
I did that. That was me. That was me. That was me. I cast off.
I am so happy I got that on video. Did you get it? Did you get a video of that?
No.
Oh my
I have
know.
seen it. I have seen it, and like I've said before, like that was one of the reasons I think you and I became friends, and I followed you because you're very family oriented with your daughter, and you know me as at the time I was a single father, and I always took my kids fishing, and I really appreciated to see stuff like that. I think it's great.
Yeah.
You know,
I appreciate
and,
that,
and
man.
you
It's
see it all the
easy.
time. There should be
You
less.
care.
Less Xbox and more tackle box.
Right.
You know, I'm a firm
That should be a
believer on
bumper
that.
sticker, man.
Yeah, no, that is actually.
Oh, it is?
Oh yeah, you see it all the time. Yeah,
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
Of course, I'm
Yep.
kind of based in a city, so you don't really see much of
yeah,
it.
that's true. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, fishing with the kids is just a bond, you know.
It is.
Like on Father's Day, my kids always says, "Come on, Dad, we're gonna take you fishing." I'm like, "Okay, but you're all little, so that means I'm driving and I'm buying the bait, right?"
Yeah.
They're like, yep, but we're still coming with you. Okay.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody. I was talking to a guest at the Expo today about the kids and taking them fishing, and I said, "Do you fish?" And he was telling me that he hasn't really had the time to go fishing. I think a lot of us can relate these days, where we're just working overtime, just trying to get things going, right? And I said, you know what I was doing with my daughter is before school I would take her, and the smell of fish on your hands was almost like it was like a badge of honor, right? And then if
Keeps the boys away.
of course, this was happening when she was in kindergarten.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would take her before daycare, kindergarten. It's like pre-K, and honestly, her first fish was huge. It was a pike. For me, it was. She dragged this thing out. It was this long. Her very first fish, like real fish. I used to do the magnetic fishing, right?
Yeah.
I put magnets on, these paper fish from all like New England, like basically bass, all these ones, right? And I put them all around the yard, and then a little magnet on it, and I taught her how to cast
Practice,
in the
yeah.
backyard. And then she'd get one, she'd get so excited. But then she caught her real first fish, and it was one of those guys, flat nose, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing's flopping around on the deck, and she's screaming again, just like that. I think I have that on video, but it's only like 2 seconds. I'm like, oh, I just missed the whole thing. But if you go fishing before school, they're getting in the habit of waking up a little bit early and getting that. I don't know if you ever hunt either, but like I remember hunting when I was younger with my dad. And the dew on the grass, that fresh morning air. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just that
yeah.
feeling. It's like you just...
It's like motivation.
It is. I get goosebumps just talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it because
yeah.
it's a great feeling to wake up that early. And if you did that, and you go fishing with your kids before school, and if they actually catch one, you can make it's just such an experience all around, for
Yeah.
them. And I happen to think it helps them do better in school.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're focused. They've already primed themselves for the day. That primal mode that they may have. I think it is a fantastic thing for them to experience.
One of my favorite bites too is northern pike, and I would like to go out on the Connecticut River in like October, early morning, and you have that warm water and that cold air, and the smoke is just coming off the water, and you toss a buzzbait out there, and you just listen to that clink, 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 clink. And then this thing just attacks it, and it's not hungry. It's just angry. It's angry at the world, and it is pissed off at that bait, and it just hits it with all that ferocity, and it's just, it gives you that little heart attack that lets you pause long enough to actually get it in its mouth, and then you set the hook. You know, I love that bite in the morning.
Man. Guys, I know this is a little bit of a test on the podcast, especially with noise in the background. This is after a show, so it's later in the night. We're just kind of winging it and relaxing, nothing too crazy.
Just getting along as
I
friends.
was going to say, I've been trying to hold back a cough, so I apologize
I know.
when it finally comes out. You know,
Hey, nothing formal
The
about this.
microphone's right there.
You know what? If anything, I want people to be comfortable, no matter what we're doing. So bodily functions, I hate bodily functions because I need to be productive. If I have to go to the bathroom, I actually get annoyed sometimes. I really do.
Hey, and that's where the holster comes in handy.
That's right. Need to mark your favorite territory? Holster on.
Laying down
Hold
some
my
tissue
beer.
crack
Watch
in it.
this.
Right. But guys, this test was really great. And I think you might be coming back on Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday after the show.
Yep.
I'll get packed up and
I
swing
hope
by before my drive home.
I hope you bring a couple of your products in because I want to do a deep dive on that, and
Absolutely.
I want to learn everything about your fishing rod.
Yeah, I really try to put the highest quality stuff together, and I'd love to show it to you and show everybody else, and
Awesome. Very
I'd love
cool.
to see them in the holsters too, because when somebody makes an investment like that, they want to protect it.
Yeah. Yep, I hear you, man. I mean, some of these, they're expensive. It's your hard-earned, labor. It's not dollars. It's really your time and energy goes into your time and energy. It's a transfer of energy. That's all that is. It's not even about money. It's energy to your energy, and you have to have the quality product to be worthy of somebody else's energy.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you think maybe by next year we'll have a beer holster for the other side?
You know what? It's been the talk of the town, my friend. Yeah, that's been on the radar for quite some time.
There you go.
We do have some attachments that I want to work on. I'm not going to disclose too much here, but there's some attachments that will be pretty awesome.
But listen, hey, it was great chatting with you guys.
It was great chatting with you guys. Thank you very much for doing
like
this.
I said, you and I have been friends for a while now, and I got to meet Doug this year. Doug, great guy. And welcome to the show, and I hope everything works out great.
People may not see this until after the show is done, but I think it would be a great keepsake to post this at some point.
There you go.
We might get segments, but... All right, guys, take care. And remember, keep your guns oiled and your fishing lines fresh.